Meet developer A, his name is Alex. And this is developer B, his name is Brian. One day, Alex stuck on a bug. Not 5 minutes, but hours. He tried everything. ChatGPT, Google, Stack Overflow, even yelling at the screen. Finally, Alex walks over to Brian and asks, "Hey, do you have any idea how to fix this?" A few minutes later, Brian sends over a solution. Alex tries it. It works. Alex is shocked. He asks, "Wait, how did you figure that out?" Brian casually says, "Oh, I just asked ChatGPT." Alex freezes. "I asked ChatGPT too. It didn't give me that solution." And right there, that's the key. Alex's prompt was simple. "Help me fix this bug." Brian's prompt, "Here's the current situation. Here are the exact error logs. Here's what I suspect is the root cause. And here are a few directions I think we should test." Same AI, same bug, totally different results. Because Brian didn't just ask a question. He brought context. He brought thinking. And this proves one very important thing. The quality of the output depends on the quality of your input. Now, people love saying, "AI can build an entire app for you. Software engineers will be replaced." I think AI allows anyone from any major to build an app. It lowers the barrier to entry. But we still need fundamentals and strong thinking skills. Not all engineers are going to be replaced. From this story, one thing is very clear. AI didn't replace Brian. It amplified Brian. With an understanding of the problem, the logs, and possible causes, Brian's version of AI became way more powerful than Alex's. Now, imagine a complete beginner using ChatGPT. Their prompt is usually something like, "Help me build this feature." And yes, ChatGPT will give you code. And most of the time, it works. But here's the catch. AI usually gives you the most basic version, just enough to make it run. Let's use a C#.NET example. AI might give you a first-order default inside a for each loop. To a beginner, that looks fine. But someone who knows the fundamentals looks at it and says, "Wait a minute, this should be optimized." And then they tell the AI, "Hey, optimize this." For example, use a dictionary for fast lookup instead of hitting the database inside a loop every single time. That's the difference. By the way, speaking of prompts, when ChatGPT first came out, I realized that prompts were going to be a huge asset, and I tried to build a SaaS for managing prompts, but it failed. Maybe I'll share the idea and story in a future video. Let me know if you're interested. Now, here's another thing people don't talk about. Real-world software is not greenfield projects. In real companies, you're dealing with legacy code written 5 or 10 years ago, half-documented business rules, weird edge cases nobody remembers, and code that cannot be rewritten from scratch. AI is great at new code and small projects. But understanding existing systems with lots of modules and weird edge cases? That still requires the experienced developer. So, do I use AI to write code? Absolutely. Because I believe this. The person who replaces you won't be AI. It will be the person who knows how to use AI. Now let's talk about what does knowing how to use AI actually mean? First, knowing when the AI is lying to you. And yes, AI lies. Not intentionally, but confidently. It can reference API that don't exist, suggest methods deprecated years ago, or give you code that looks professional but is subtly wrong. If you don't have fundamentals, you won't even notice. You'll ship code that might cause problems later, with confidence. Developers who are good at using AI ask follow-up questions. Is this really the best approach? This works for 10 items, but what about 100,000 items? I think there's another option like Dapper. Why not use that here? These kind of conversation only happens when you understand the basics first. Next, deeply understand what you want to achieve and push AI to deliver sustainable, robust, and competitive solutions. If you give basic instructions, you get basic solutions. If you think deeply about the business before giving instructions, you get a completely different result. Because AI doesn't magically understand your product. You have to feed it your thinking. Imagine this. Two developers, same task, same deadline, both using AI. Developer 1 types, build a new project with login, dashboard, CRUD. Looks fine and ships it. Developer 2 starts thinking, how many concurrent users? 1,000? 100,000? What happens when traffic spikes? Do we need caching? Do we need clean architecture that supports scalability and readability? What about logging and monitoring? Module A and Module B are connected. What if A succeeds but B fails? What if users click the button multiple times? What if users do something completely unexpected, like scenarios 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Then developer B feeds AI all those details after thinking. Now the output is completely different. Developer A's version works until it doesn't. Developer B's version survives a long term. That's the difference. AI doesn't think, it expands on what you think. If your thinking is structured and strategic, AI amplifies it. And here's the interesting part. When you give AI deeper context, it often pushes back with even more edge cases. It's like you start the thinking, and AI helps you extend it. Here, AI isn't replacing your brain, it's upgrading it. Your brain plus AI's brain isn't just addition, it's multiplication. And that's the real competitive advantage. Now, let's talk about using AI as mentor. We can ask, why does this line exist? Why did you choose this method instead of that one? Explain this like I'm a complete beginner using a real-life analogy. You can even paste in your own code and say, roast my code. Act like a senior engineer and tell me why this is bad and how to fix it. The deeper you ask, the more you learn. Here's a simple workflow. Step 1. Ask AI for a solution. Then ask why this solution works. And step 3. Ask for an alternative approach. And lastly, ask about edge cases and performance. That's how you turn AI into a learning accelerator. Don't let AI replace your thinking. Use AI to amplify your thinking. And if you want to learn more about the dictionary tricks I mentioned earlier, you can watch this video right here.